I've felt let down my whole life. I had high hopes, expectations, and trust in people, but they always let me down. This one relationship, I really didn't want it to end up broken, but it's hard not to see that coming sometimes. But did you ever wonder, did you really mean the things you said to someone? You might say things in the heat of the moment, but when it comes down to it, did you really mean them? I didn't. I can't lie about it. I said what I thought would get a reaction, to see how far the other person would go. Sometimes you give someone a way out, just to see if they'll take it. And if they do, you know they're probably not as committed as you thought. If you think Yung Joc and Kendra were in a good place, think again. Everything's about to unravel. Reports are surfacing that Kendra is pregnant. But get this, Joc isn't the father. I know, shocking, right? The real dad is someone close to Joc, someone he trusted. And when he found out, it was like something out of a reality TV show. Imagine this. Joc's been out and about, running errands when his phone starts buzzing, non-stop. Missed calls, texts, and then headlines that blast across the internet. Joc's not the father. The whole world knew before Joc did. And when he found out, it hit him like a ton of bricks. He couldn't believe it. At first, he thought it was some sick joke. But then he saw the DNA results, and that's when everything went haywire. Sources say he went into a complete meltdown. They say he was pacing, his hands shaking, repeating to himself, "This can't be real." But it was. When Joc walked into the house that night, things were different. Kendra was just sitting there, scrolling through her phone like nothing had happened. Joc didn't even get a chance to get comfortable. He stormed in, slammed the door, and demanded, "You got something to tell me?" But Kendra didn't flinch. She just looked up and said, "What are you talking about?" Can you imagine the frustration? Joc didn't play around, stepping closer, demanding she tell him what was going on. But Kendra just shrugged and casually said, "I'm pregnant, that's all you need to know." Joc was furious. He grabbed her phone, stared her down, and asked, "Not the father, who is it?" Kendra just smirked, acting like it didn't even matter. And then, the unthinkable happened. Just as the tension reached its peak, guess who walked through the door? It was none other than Kirk Frost. The same Kirk who'd been Joc's friend, the same Kirk who had been in his circle, the same Kirk who had always smiled in his face. Joc's reaction was priceless. The moment everything clicked in his head, he turned to Kendra and asked, "It's him, isn't it?" Kendra just crossed her arms, shrugged, and said, "Well, now you know." Joc reportedly lunged at Kirk. Security had to physically pull him off. Joc was screaming, "You're supposed to be my brother, how could you do this to me?" And what did Kirk do? He laughed. Yes, you heard that right. He laughed. When Joc tried to get to him, Kirk just casually said, "It kind of just happened." The nerve of him. After security dragged Joc out of the house, Kendra and Kirk stayed behind, looking unbothered. But Joc wasn't the type to just let things slide. Word on the street is, Joc was already on the phone with his lawyers. He's gearing up for war. Kendra might have just started something she's not prepared for. And Kirk? Oh, he's in for a world of trouble. Social media went wild. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, they were all on fire. People couldn't believe Kendra would do Joc like that. Kirk, he was getting roasted left and right. Joc's already making plans to take legal action. Things are about to get ugly. But wait, there's more. After Joc found out about the pregnancy and the scandal, Kendra and Kirk didn't even try to hide it. In fact, they were spotted together at a fancy lounge in Atlanta, holding hands and looking completely unbothered by the drama. Paparazzi caught them, and those pictures blew up. Joc saw the images and completely snapped. He called Kendra and Kirk back to back, but they sent him straight to voicemail. Joc left messages, angry, heated messages, asking why they thought this was funny. But it didn't stop there. Kirk took it to the next level. He went on Instagram Live with Kendra, sipping wine, while Kirk smirked at the camera, saying, "Y'all need to mind your business." Can you imagine how Joc felt watching this in real time? Joc wasn't done yet. He drove straight to Kirk's house, and when he got there, he didn't knock. He just banged on the door. When Kirk opened, he didn't even seem bothered. He just asked, "You good, bro?" But Joc wasn't having it. He grabbed Kirk by the collar and pushed him against the wall. That's when things got physical. Joc reportedly punched Kirk so hard he stumbled back into the wall. And then it turned into a full-on brawl. They were fighting on the floor, throwing punches. Kendra? She was just sitting there sipping her drink like nothing was happening. Security had to step in to break up the fight. Joc was dragged out, bloodied and furious, while Kirk stood there adjusting his chain, completely unbothered. But things were about to get worse for Kirk. Later that night, a new video leaked. This time it was Kendra, talking in a dimly lit hotel room to an unidentified man. In the video, Kendra says that Joc doesn't even know yet and thinks things are going to work out. The man replies, "What he doesn't know won't hurt him." And then Kendra drops a bombshell. She's just waiting for the baby to be born, and once the DNA test confirms who the father is, Joc will have no choice but to move on. The video sent social media into a frenzy. Fans couldn't believe Kendra had been planning this all along. She really played Joc like that. Joc? He was furious. He paced around his house cursing, saying, "She really played me." But here's the thing, Joc isn't the type to just take an L. Word is, he's already contacted his lawyers and is preparing to sue Kendra and Kirk for emotional damage and defamation. He has the proof to back it up. Apparently, Joc has been keeping track of everything. Phone records, bank, statements, even surveillance footage. He knows Kendra's been sneaking around with Kirk for over a year. And worst of all, Kirk has been using Joc's money to finance their affair. Joc's legal team is even looking into fraud and embezzlement charges against Kirk. This could get ugly. But Kirk? He tried to turn the tables. Just 2 days after the fight, he posted a picture on Instagram, standing in front of a Rolls Royce with Kendra by his side, acting like nothing happened. The comments were savage. People couldn't believe Kirk was out here flaunting his affair. With Kendra, after everything that happened, Joc wasn't going to let Kirk get away with it. The very next day, he went on The Breakfast Club and spilled all the tea. He didn't sugarcoat anything. He talked about how Kendra and Kirk had betrayed him, and when Charlemagne asked how he found out, Joc said, "I found out the same way you did, from the blogs." Joc also dropped a diss track that quickly hit number 3 on iTunes, and the internet went wild. But while Joc was thriving, Kirk and Kendra were hiding. Sources say Kirk hasn't been seen in public, and Kendra reportedly deleted her Instagram. But things are getting even more complicated. Multiple women have come forward claiming that Kirk was seeing them while he was with Kendra. One woman even threatened to expose him unless he paid her off. Kendra? She's not handling it well. Word is she's already called a divorce lawyer, and the situation with Kirk is looking messier than ever. Joc? He's living his best life. He's booked multiple interviews, making club appearances, and planning to drop more music. Kendra and Kirk are spiraling, and Joc? He's just sitting back, watching everything fall apart. So now the big question is, will Joc take legal action against Kirk and Kendra? Or is he just going to walk away? Will Kendra really divorce Kirk? And what about Kirk's other women coming forward? It's all about to get much messier before it's over. And one thing's for sure, the drama's far from finished.